group 1, so let's take a look at your next relationship. What do we need to know? And a big thank you to my guides and your guides for coordinating these messages. I actually already shuffled all the decks before I got started, so that'll save us a little bit of time. We've got the 9 of Pentacles here to start us off, and the 10 of Cups came out with the Magician. Wow. Okay, I only planned on getting 2 cards from that deck, but we'll go ahead and take all 3. And then, I don't know, I was just in the mood to use a lot of tarot decks today. This is probably going to be a little bit of a longer reading, just because you guys know I've been out of business for a while because of my, you know, being sick and everything. So, I don't know, I just wanted to do a longer reading. Okay, so the 9 of Pentacles, the 10 of Cups, and the Magician could not be more positive to start off your reading here. So this is definitely a relationship that you have manifested. And actually and if you don't resonate, by the way, with, you know, sort of law of attraction and all of that, then this is someone that you prayed for, someone that you wished for, someone that you hoped for, okay? You know, the type of relationship that you really, really wanted to emotionally fulfill you. So this is going to be a more serious connection. This is going to be a long-term partner. This isn't going to be a quick flash in the pan kind of romance, you know, one that like fizzles out really quickly, or, you know, starts off really fast and then, you know, is passionate but ends suddenly. It's not that kind of connection. This is a relationship that is going to endure in your life. With the 10 of Cups, you know, this can indicate marriage and family down the road if that's something you're interested in. But really with the 10 of Cups and the rainbow, it's just coming through, especially with the 9 of Pentacles being next to it. Like, this is someone that I can share like my dreams, my hopes, my wishes with. This is someone that I can build with. This is someone that, you know, like I can share my life with, and someone that I can grow with, right? With the 9 of Pentacles especially, this can indicate growth. Now, what I was gonna say is when I started, you know, your reading and I was laying out your cards and I was getting everything organized, a UPS truck was driving by, and so I was waiting for it to leave so, you know, it could be nice and quiet when I started your reading. But I heard in my head, you know, as the truck was driving by, we're right on time. So I think when this person comes into your life, it's just the perfect timing. You know, sometimes we meet people and our lives are a little bit chaotic, or it's like, how can I make space for this person in my life? Like, I want to spend time with them, but I'm really busy. You know, whether it's romantic or platonic, you know, it can just be difficult sometimes to create that space for people in our lives. And so when this person comes in, it's at the perfect time for both of you, where both of you have enough time and energy and space, and you're emotionally in a place to give to somebody else and to invest in someone else and have them reciprocate that energy back to you. So especially with the Magician coming through, it speaks of divine timing, right? Okay. Also, if my voice is hoarse, I apologize, but, you know, we're just doing the best that we can. Okay. So, and I keep wanting to shuffle, and I've already shuffled. Okay. It's just force of habit. All right, this next relationship, can we get some information on the actual person, please, Spirit? Group 1. Oh, the Ace of Pentacles. So this person's a real go-getter. They're a real go-getter. They're someone who's quite ambitious, someone who's really hardworking, but also someone who is incredibly generous. Someone who's incredibly generous. And they're in a space in their life where they have enough to give. So this person is bringing something to the table. So this person could be quite financially stable. This person could be someone who's really compassionate, you know, someone who's a great listener, someone who I'm hearing maybe is quite funny too, like someone who can really uplift your spirits. I feel like this person adds something to like your day-to-day life. I wonder, I'm hearing this person is super organized, and they could help you in your day-to-day. I feel like this person may have a love language that is acts of service, but I feel like this person is really helpful. They could be quite handy as well. I'm hearing that They could be someone who's maybe great at like mechanical things or like fixing things. I don't know, they're just really handy. They could be good at building things. We have the World card here, so this person could be well-traveled. This could be someone who really enjoys taking vacations, someone who enjoys, not everyone likes to go on vacation. You know, some people are more home buddies, but this person likes to travel. This person likes to try new things. You know, this is the type of person who wants to go to a new restaurant, you know, maybe not the same place that you always eat at, or, you know, this is someone who I think is quite adventurous. Like if you were to take a trip with them, they wouldn't necessarily just want to hang out on the beach all day. You know, they may want to go and try, I don't know, like different activities, like, oh, let's go for a bike ride, or let's go zip lining, or let's take a hike, or let's, you know, even just like go to the aquarium. Like they want to do activities, you know what I mean? Like they like to stay busy. This person is very high energy. 3 of Wands, yeah, like travel is really something that they enjoy doing. And this person may have traveled a lot when they were younger. They could maybe be from a different culture than you, or they moved around a lot, so they, maybe they have family members who live in a different country, and that's why they traveled a lot when they were younger. I don't know, I'm just hearing that this person has seen quite a bit of the world here. And if they haven't, they really want to. Yeah. They kind of have this energy that like life is too short to just stay in one place and do the same thing every single day. You know, they have a little bit of wanderlust in them. Wow, we're getting the 9 of Pentacles again. Yeah, wow, okay. This person, I feel like, could definitely improve your financial standing, whether that's because you end up marrying this person and they're just quite wealthy, or if this person just has really great advice, especially like if you're trying to grow a business or something like that. I could see this person being super helpful, you know, just giving great advice, being really supportive, really encouraging. And I feel like this person is quite inspiring because it really carries this energy that they're very accomplished, successful, hardworking, someone who's really looking out to climb that ladder of success. And even if you were to look at them and be like, wow, you know, like you've really accomplished a lot in your life, I feel like this person would say, oh, no, no, no. Like they're very humble. It's like they have this self-assurance to them, but they're still very humble. And I think that humility that they have comes from this space of wanting to do even more, of like wanting to push themselves even further, of having even more dreams. Like this person accomplishes something, but they don't really, I feel like, take the time to celebrate it because their mind is moving so fast. They're like on to the next thing. Like they're already planning their next move. And that could be why, you know, this person is going to be a longer lasting or a long-term connection for you, and maybe even your future spouse, because that's just who they are. Like they're very goal-oriented, so they're not necessarily like out here, you know, looking for a casual fling. Like they want to be with someone where they can have that future with them, because again, like they're very goal-oriented, so everything they do is meant to be something that's going to be successful, you know, like this is someone who thinks 5 years into the future kind of thing. What about the dynamic between you two? This is also a very like free-flowing reading. Like I don't know if group 2 and group 3 are going to look the same as your reading. Like I'm just, you know, going with the flow here. What's the dynamic between you two? Oh, we've got the 5 of Swords and the Lovers. Oh, this is so cute. I love this. So this to me indicates a little bit of friendly competition in the sense that you guys really push each other to be your very best. And I think that you two almost kind of give each other like pep talks, but in a way where it's a little bit teasing as well. You guys could be interested in the same thing or work in the same field. Oh, I'm seeing the orange kitty cat outside. There's a stray cat that probably a lot of you are familiar with if you've been watching my channel for a long time that I've been feeding, but He's looking so nice and fluffy. That makes me so happy because sometimes his fur gets matted, but he's looking pretty well this morning. If he shows up in your reading, that's a sign of good luck. I've just already decided that a while ago. But okay, yeah, there's a little bit of friendly competition between you two, so maybe you have a similar interest, or maybe you're both just competitive people, but like if you're interested in sports, or I don't know, like maybe you guys are both like runners and like you go on runs together and you try to like beat each other's times, or maybe you guys play tennis together, or it doesn't have to be anything athletic. It could be like you both enjoy video games, and so, you know, you try to beat each other's like high score or something like that. But yeah, there's just a little, this could also indicate a little bit of like banter back and forth between you two, like you guys just like to be playful and joke around and, you know, kind of like one-up each other a little bit, but like I said, like a friendly competition to keep things, I think, spicy. So I think that's a nice balance between that very like supportive, encouraging energy, but there's still that playful, fun side to your connection too. Okay, let's see. What about this person's, anything about this person's life that group 1 should know about? Anything they have going on that group 1 should be aware of? Let's see. The Emperor. Okay, yeah, this person's a boss. I mean, they just are. Yeah, and I think the sweet part of this is that as hardworking as this person is, as driven and ambitious as this person is, they will still make time for you. They will still make you a priority. I feel like this person works hard to play hard. I don't feel like if they are a workaholic, they're still the type of person that can do it all. And I think that could be speaking to that high energy that we were picking up on before. Like this person's like a little Energizer bunny. Like you look at them and you're like, how do you manage all of that? How do you juggle so many things all at one time? Yeah, this person is definitely an overachiever. I feel like this person doesn't really slow down ever, you know? I think you may have to encourage them to rest more, to take care of themselves. Now, I will say, I do feel like this person, because they're so active, they're very physically fit, but I feel like in terms of their emotional, like mental health, that's where they could maybe neglect themselves. I feel like, you know, in terms of their physical health, they're on top of it. I feel like this person eats pretty healthy, they take care of themselves in that manner. But in terms of self-care for like mental health, I don't feel like they're necessarily on top of it. Yeah, the Strength card, like this person just pushes themselves a lot. Now we also have Leo, Aries, and Gemini energy, but honestly, like we're gonna get some zodiac signs at the end of the reading, so you know, that's all right. Okay, yeah, definitely a heart of gold though. I'm hearing like this person is so giving, so giving. It could be that they actually maybe financially support a family member, like maybe this person, and maybe not currently in their life, I mean it may depend upon their age, but I could see this person being the type of person where when they get older, you know, they want to give back to their parents, or you know, maybe they have a younger sibling that, you know, maybe they help pay for their college or something like that, because I feel like this person is in a place where they really are able to give a lot to others because they are in such a good, stable place financially where they can be really giving in that way, or even just really generous in their ability to like help others with like opportunities. Like this person is in a place where they have really good connections with other people in like higher places. So if someone else was just starting out in their career and needed to network, like they could set up certain opportunities for people because they're in a really good place in their field. Again, age is gonna kind of vary here because it's a general reading. So if this person isn't quite in that energy yet, they're gonna get there. You know, it probably depends upon your age watching this as well, but you know, I definitely feel like this person is on their way. You know, if they're not there yet, they're on their way to being a very successful, accomplished, and I'm hearing well-connected person. Okay, so let's get some more information about your relationship with them. I'm gonna split this up just because this deck is really thick, like the actual cardstock, and there's a lot of cards. Okay. Group 1, please, Spirit, what do we need to know about their relationship? Group 1. Oh yeah, life partner, love of a lifetime, stable. What did I tell you, Group 1? I mean, we got that message in the very beginning, like this is going to be a long-lasting connection. Now, if marriage isn't something that you're interested in, it's not something that you want, it could just be someone that you spend a long time with, or, you know, they're your life partner, but you may not necessarily get married to them. Always take what resonates, right? But life partner, like this is someone that you could grow old with for sure. And I'm going to get a sip of tea. Okay, we have jealous, envy, green eye, and paranoia. I don't think this is saying that your future, you know, relationship is going to be plagued by jealousy. I feel like this is more of be mindful that other people around you may be a bit jealous, or people in this person's circle may be a bit jealous, because honestly, like to me, this person is sounding like a catch, right? Like they're sounding like a really cool individual and someone who has a lot of good things going on for them. And it could be that just in general, people are a bit jealous of this future partner that you're going to have because they're so successful, right? And that can inspire some insecurity in other people. So yeah, you may just find that, you know, you're telling your friends about this person, or maybe you're telling your coworkers about this person, and people aren't as happy for you as you would have hoped. So that's just something to be mindful of. Definitely don't let it kill your excitement. And then we have listen, intuition, don't talk, hear what they are really saying. Yeah, I feel like intuitively you're gonna feel really good about this person, like right from the jump. Like I feel like this person is someone who's very honest, straightforward. I mean, they're the type of person where, like I said, they have a lot going on. And so they're not going to drag this out in the dating stage where they're playing games and you're not sure whether they're really into you. It's not that kind of vibe, you know? Like this feels more of like a traditional kind of courtship, you know? I'm not saying it's not going to be fun and playful. We were getting that energy, right? But I feel like this person just prefers to be direct, you know? They just prefer to say how they're feeling and lay their cards on the table and, you know, are you into me? Are you wanting to pursue this with me or not, you know? They're pretty direct. So, yeah. We have nature. Yeah, I feel like we've gotten this message a lot, that this person is quite adventurous. They like to be outside. They like to keep busy. They definitely, for some of you, they could have a dog that they go on a lot of hikes with. Just take that message if it resonates, because that does feel more specific. But yeah, I'm hearing that for some of you, they have like a larger sized dog, or maybe if it is a medium sized dog, it's like a sturdy kind of breed where they can go on longer walks, because I'm seeing someone like camp outside or take their dog on a walk by a lake or going on trails. I don't know, I'm just seeing a dog. And then we also have distance here, long distance. So this could start off as a long distance connection. This could also indicate that this person travels a lot. So you could be, again, like meeting them while they're traveling, because I just feel like this person moves around a lot. Because we were getting that message in the beginning of them being like well cultured, like they've been to a lot of different places. So definitely that's been emphasized a lot, right? Okay, I think let's do this deck next. Okay. How will this person treat group 1? How will this person treat group 1? Okay, they're gonna make you feel very lucky. I love that. And we've got new beginnings here. So this is definitely a new person. It's not, you know, an ex returning or anything like that. You're going to feel very lucky. And, you know, that message came out in the very beginning with the Magician and the Nine of Pentacles. Like this feeling of a wish coming true. Like this is the type of person that I've been hoping for, you know? And I'm hearing you're going to count your lucky stars when they come into your life. They're going to feel like a blessing. They're going to feel like a prayer that's being answered. I'm being drawn to the butterfly here, so I feel like this person is very different than your past partners, or, you know, this relationship is going to be a very different experience than what you have known previously. I feel like this person's definitely going to push you out of your comfort zone, but in a way that I think is very gentle and supportive and encouraging, because I feel like this person really helps you to feel more confident. Yeah, I feel like their confidence and their self-assurance is like contagious. There's a Lana Del Rey song called Black Beauty, and that relationship in that song is not one to aspire to. But she has a line in that song that says, I keep my lips red like cherries in the spring. And the cherries here and the little cherry blossoms at the bottom here are making me think of springtime. So this person could definitely come into your life in the springtime, whenever that is, wherever you live. Now, if you live somewhere where they don't have spring, disregard that message. But you know, for those of you who live somewhere where there is spring, it could just be metaphorically too, like when you're in the spring of your life, that's when this person can come in. So when you're having a lot of new beginnings in your life, like maybe you move somewhere new or you started a new job, something like that, that could be indicating that's when this person's going to come into your life. And we have patience. Oh, I love that. So yeah, if you like to take things a little bit slower, if you want a relationship where you build a solid foundation first, I feel like this person would be really respectful of that. They would be willing to go at your pace. It says commitment, so again, like we've gotten that message over and over again, this is going to be, you know, a relationship where both of you are investing and, you know, you both see a long-term future with the other person. And I mean, just the stars here, right? And the moon, it's like, I don't know where this is going, but let's grow together. Like you see the trees around her cloak here, like you're willing to take a chance on each other with the luck card. Like you're willing to bet on each other. You're willing to risk it, you know, risk getting your heart broken. Like you're both willing to be emotionally vulnerable. You're both willing to say like, hey, this is what I want. Do you want the same thing? And I think that openness and that honesty between you two is part of what is making this relationship so solid. Okay, let's get some Sailor Moon cards here. We have betrayal, and we have anger, and we have couple. I love this actually a lot. You're probably like, why? I love this a lot because it's really picking up on that energy of this being a really healing connection for you. You know, like this isn't what you have known in the past, and this ability to let the dead be dead, you know, like let the past lie where it's meant to lie. You know, when you're with this person, there's no desire to pick at old wounds anymore. You know, there's no desire to look back. There's no desire to hold on to resentment towards your exes, or, you know, even people who have hurt you in the past where it wasn't romantic, but it still gave you trust issues, you know, it still makes you angry. This ability to just let that all melt away and to step into a new future. You know, like the shadows of the past are just that, they're just shadows. You know, and it doesn't have to hurt anymore. It doesn't have to sting anymore. Group 1, any other messages about this connection? Yeah, memories. I feel like this person could definitely be a soulmate for you, and you may get this feeling of deja vu, like, I feel like I've met you somewhere before, but you haven't, right? But it's that past life connection that's coming up. You know, it's like soul recognition. And so, you know, we were picking up on that before with the intuition card of you just immediately feeling this sense of comfort, this sense of familiarity, you know, with this person. Also, again, like this person is so adventurous, so I feel like you're going to do things together that are going to be like good stories to tell, you know, your friends or your future children or your family members. Like, you have experiences with this person that like make a good story, you know. There's this energy here of like, so this is what it feels like to live. You know, like I'm no longer just existing anymore. I'm getting out of my comfort zone and I'm participating in life because, you know, this person is bringing this like fresh energy, I think, into your life that's really needed. And that's probably because they're so adventurous and they like to try new things, and, you know, they pull you into that as well. I'm hearing Lana Del Rey's song Video Games. I don't know why she's coming up so much. Probably because she has a new album coming out later this month and I've been listening to her a lot. She's my favorite artist. But I'm hearing her song Video Games where she says, the world was built for two. Like, that really is coming up a lot. Like, a lot of the stuff maybe you've wanted to do but you didn't want to do on your own, or you were scared to try out on your own. Now you have a partner that is willing to do those things with you and is excited to do those things with you. And so maybe a lot of the stuff on your list that you've been wanting to do, you know, like on your bucket list, you know, things that you've wanted to try but just haven't, this person's willing to do that with you, you know? So I think you're feeling a lot braver, just, yeah, again, like you're participating in life more because of this person. Your life feels more colorful with this person in it. We have caution here. I'm actually hearing you're throwing caution to the wind, you know, like you're not afraid anymore. You're not afraid. And I think that's the biggest blessing this person is bringing into your life is that sense of bravery, you know, because they push you, but they're also very supportive. Soul connection. So yeah, it's a soulmate connection for sure. And this is, I think, your past energy, and it makes good sense, you know, like if you've been hurt, betrayal, anger, if you've had that in the past, you know, it's finally like, my heart has breathing space, you know, like I feel held, but I also feel free. And I think that's a very beautiful space to be in. Okay, so we're going to end your reading with some grab bag messages. I haven't used this, it feels like, in forever, so we're going to use that, but we're also going to get some zodiac messages. So let's start off with zodiac signs and then we'll get the houses. So we'll get 3 signs, so these will be like potential sun sign placements, maybe Moon, Venus, Mars, because that can come into play in love for sure. So group 1, this future partner. Ooh, Aquarius, I like that. That makes a lot of sense because I feel like Aquarius people, they're the opposite sign to Leo, so they do have that kind of like willingness to like put themselves out there and be brave like Leo. But, you know, with Aquarius energy, it really brings to mind this idea that this person's going to be not only a romantic partner, but also a really good friend to you. And I feel like they could definitely widen your social circle because they're so adventurous. They too come off as like an ambivert, like they do like to spend time on their own for sure because, you know, they're hardworking, they're busy, they're focused on their goals, but this person is also very sociable. And so I feel like this person knows a lot of people. Aquarius people to me are also very funny, and we were picking that up, you know, in the beginning, that this person can bring a lot of laughter into your life, so that could be where that playful energy comes from as well. And remember, we were saying this person's a really good catch. I think of that a lot with Aquarius people as well because they're so unique, you know, like Aquarius people are the same in that they're all different, you know, they are not afraid to be individuals. Aquarius people are also very generous, just like Leos are. They think about the group, they think about the collective. So again, this person's going to be very compassionate, very understanding, and yeah, very giving. Okay, let's see what else. We've got Gemini. So you got the Lovers earlier. So Gemini has been indicated twice now. Oh, I forgot to say with Aquarius, that's associated with the Star card in tarot. So again, this person's going to be a wish come true. They could also be pretty prominent on social media, sometimes with the Star card. Okay, with Gemini, definitely, they can be quite sociable. Gemini's the other sign that I think of as being a really good friend. So this could definitely be friends to lovers, because we were picking up maybe this, you know, grows over time with this patience card. Yeah, but I feel like both of you know this is a soul connection just intuitively in the beginning here. This could also be re-emphasizing that this person's going to be your soulmate, or a soulmate connection for you for sure. With Gemini energy too, I feel like this person, remember how we said they like work hard to play hard? Like there's two different sort of, you know, Gemini speaks to duality, right? So like this person's really ambitious, but they know how to have a good time and they know how to be fun and lighthearted. So they could be really serious in their professional life, but then in their personal life, they have this like childlike quality to them that's like forever young, you know, very playful, very lighthearted, likes to tell jokes, likes to have fun and, you know, explore. Gemini's a very curious energy, so, you know, that would explain why this person likes to try new things so much. Okay, let's get one final sign here. Sorry, I took a sip of tea. Okay, we have Aries. So Aries was indicated earlier in your reading as well because you got the Emperor and you also got the Magician, which sometimes I associate with Aries as well. So yes, this person is ambitious, a go-getter. We were picking that up on the very first, right, couple minutes of your reading. So Aries people too have this energy of being a boss, you know, they like to be the leader. So I think this is really speaking to how this person shows up in their professional life, like they're just a natural born leader, right? Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. And also we were picking up that this person is really blunt and very honest. So, you know, that's Aries energy all day long. They're straight shooters, you know, they'll tell you how they feel right off the cuff, you know, they're just very straightforward and they don't really mess around, you know. And, you know, Gemini, you got that before, is really big on communication. It rules the third house. So yeah, I feel like in terms of how this person speaks to you, it's very direct, very open, very honest. And, you know, Aries is also very competitive. So that's that friendly competition we were getting with the Five of Swords as well. So yeah, I feel like this is summing up your reading very nicely. Yeah, and Aries people too can be a little bit impulsive. So I feel like when this person decides that they're going to do something, they are all in, you know, they put their full heart into things. This person definitely lives their life by their heart, for sure. They just go with their gut on things and they don't overthink it. And I feel like that willingness to put themselves out there and just go for it is what makes them seem so confident, but also what makes them so successful, because they're not sitting around second guessing themselves or planning to the point to where they never actually get started on stuff, you know? How people can put stuff off because, oh, it's not the right time, or I want to be more prepared, but then they end up never doing it. This person doesn't fall, you know, prey to that because they really just go for it. If they want to do something, they just go for it. And if it doesn't work out, they don't sit around beating themselves up for it. They're like, well, at least I was brave enough to try and I have learned something from this. So I think that's what makes this person so successful, what makes this person inspirational and motivational as well. Okay, with the houses here, let's see how you're going to meet this person. How can group 1 meet this person? We've got the 4th house here. So you can meet this person through mutual friends, or mutual like contacts, because your fourth house can talk about home and family. So you can meet this person through like a friend of a friend, or at like a family gathering, you know, like they know your cousin or your uncle or something like that. The fourth house can also talk about just that feeling of comfort. So you can meet this person at a place where you feel really comfortable, a place that feels like home to you. So for me, that would be like the library. Like I love the library, or any bookstore. Like I always feel immediately at home as soon as I step into a bookstore. So like if you have like a coffee shop or somewhere that you like to go where you just feel at home, like maybe it's the beach for you, like that could be, you know, like where you meet this person. Okay, let's get 2 more here. We've got the 7th house. So again, through your interpersonal connections, like you may have, you know, this person could be a friend of your coworkers, you know, like someone that you're in close contact with may know this person and may introduce you to them. Let's see. With the 7th house too, it could be in a place that feels really beautiful. So like maybe if you were resonating like, yeah, like the beach always feels like home to me, or the mountains always feels like home to me. So somewhere that's quite beautiful to you could be where you meet them. You know, like someplace that's very scenic or very aesthetically pleasing. Okay, and we have the 10th house here. So you could meet them through work, through your work as well. Also in a place of money and wealth. So a place of beauty, money, or wealth. So that could be like maybe a really fancy art museum, or if you have a favorite restaurant that's really expensive and you only go there, you know, like when you have something to celebrate or a special occasion, that could be where you meet them, because the 10th house can also talk about status. So somewhere that is, you know, maybe a bit pricey to go to. Okay, so I think that, oh wait, no, we haven't used your grab bag yet. I'm so sorry. Okay, group 1, any final messages about this person? Group 1, their next relationship. Group 1. Okay. Gonna move these over here. So they could have brown eyes. They're going to be at average height, so they're not going to be exceptionally tall or exceptionally short, you know, they're just an average height. And then we have, oh yeah, wine and dine courtship. So we got this message before in the very beginning where I said, you know, it is going to be a little bit more traditional. And they're very hardworking, so we've gotten this message kind of over and over and over again. And your last message actually says tall. So for some of you, they're going to be at average height, and for others of you, they're going to be really tall. Sometimes that happens in readings, especially with like physical appearance. Like obviously not all of you are going to be dating people who are like doppelgangers or like clones of each other. You know, like physical appearance is a little bit tricky in general readings. So for some of you, they're going to be average height. For others of you, they're going to be tall. And that could be based upon your perspective. Like, I'm 5'1" on a good day, you know? So, like, everyone to me is pretty much tall, you know? Like, everyone's tall to me. It's rare that I meet someone, even another woman that's shorter than me. Not saying it doesn't happen, but it doesn't happen a lot. So could be based upon your perspective as well as to whether they're an average height or really tall. Okay, but they're not going to be short. So we at least know that. Sorry, every time I laugh, like the papers like go all over the place. All right, group 1. I hope this wasn't a rough reading. I mean, it's been a while since I filmed, so I'm definitely going to have to get back into the swing of things, but I missed it so much. Like, I know some of you probably think the silent readings are easy, but they're not. They definitely take more time, and I enjoy doing them now. I did it in the beginning. It was definitely like a process. But what was I saying? Oh, if it just feels really good to be back filming like normal. Hopefully, you know, my voice is okay. I was feeling pretty good last week, but I didn't want to chance it. I just wanted to give myself enough time to like really heal. So hopefully no more health issues. I'm sick of it. So I'm gonna try to take better care of myself, and it was definitely a lesson learned for me to go to the doctor when I don't feel good. So yes, group 1, take care. I'm very excited for you, and I hope you all have a great day. Group 2, so let's take a look at your next relationship. What do we need to know? I'm going to be using quite a few tarot decks today just because I was in the mood. So we're only going to get, I think, 3 cards. You're getting the 9 of Pentacles to start off, which was the same exact card that came out in group 1. So that's interesting. Queen of Wands and the 4 of Wands. Oh my gosh, this is so positive. Oh man, I'm so excited to see this. Okay, so with the Queen of Wands, this could be your energy or the energy of, you know, this future partner. It kind of just depends upon whether you resonate with a feminine energy or a masculine energy. So I'm gonna read this like this is you, but if it's not, just flip it. But I really feel like you're gonna feel so confident with this person. Like, see the way they're dancing here? Like, you just feel very carefree with them. Like, they let you be in your energy. Like, they let you be in the sun. They let you be in the spotlight. They let you do your thing. This isn't the type of person that tries to repress you or tries to dim your light or, you know, like dull your shine. Like, they don't step on your toes, you know, like they let you be in your lane, they let you do your thing, and they're not jealous, they're not controlling, they're not manipulative, you know, they let you be in your own abundance, you know, they just support you, encourage you, they're not trying to hold you back, they're not insecure, yeah, like they let you shine and they help build you up and they're supportive. And they don't try to restrict you in any way. You know Cyndi Lauper's Girls Just Want to Have Fun? She has a line where she says, how does it go? Some boys take a beautiful girl and try to hide her away from the world. I want to be the one to dance in the sun. I think those are the lyrics. But like, this person lets you dance in the sun, you know? Like, they don't hold you back. They don't try to control you, you know? They're not a jealous or envious person. So I think that's really positive. And with the 4 of Wands, like, this can definitely speak to you having a long-term future with this person, but we'll get some more information as we get further into your cards here. Okay. What will your dynamic be like with this person? Need more information on the dynamic here. Like, what do you guys like to do together? That card doesn't feel right. Feels like my hand messed up there. Okay, we have Judgment. Oh, I like this a lot. Okay. So this person, again, gives you a lot of freedom and space to do your own thing. You know, like dance to the beat of your own drum. You know, they don't criticize you or anything like that. They're just like, yeah, you do you. You know, they're just supportive. With Judgment here, definitely feels like you both deserve a relationship like this. So I don't know in your past if you had people who were really insecure or manipulative, or people who tried to make you feel bad to like keep you in your place, you know, try to like hold you down or try to drag you down to their level. But it feels like both of you deserve each other in like the best way possible, you know, like you both are good people. And yeah, like it just feels like a connection where there's a lot of genuine love, you know, it's authentic. It's not, oh, I'm with you because I'm lonely, or because I, you know, am really in love with someone else, but, you know, they're not interested, so I'm just gonna settle for you. You know, it doesn't feel like that. It feels like the reasons for you being together with each other are authentic and genuine and honest. You know, it's because you both love each other. You both enjoy being together. It's not from a place of like loneliness or, you know, any like superficial reason. What's this person like? Okay, yeah. They've been through it. Yeah. They've been hurt a lot. With the Ten of Swords here, they have had their trust broken a lot in the past. And it was really to the point to where they almost felt like giving up, but they pushed through. They pushed through, and I think that's why they're being rewarded. It's like they never fully lost their faith in humanity, in love. You know, they held fast to it. It's kind of reminding me, you know how in like biblical stories where like someone gets tested over and over again, and you know, they can have everything stripped away from them, but they still believe, right? They still believe. Yeah, like, or even like fables, right? Like you hear like stories like that, or you know, like characters are like just tested over and over again, but they still have their faith. They still have hope. And I think that really defines this person, like their idealism, like the fact that they could be through, they could be put through the ringer, right? Like they could have the worst of the worst experiences in this lifetime, and yet they still believe in goodness. They still try to do the right thing. They're not jaded. They're not bitter. They're not miserable. Like they still push through and have that sense of faith and that sense of hope, that things can get better and that they have the power to make things better, and that good people do exist. Like I feel like, you know, it's like the universe wants to reward that. Fate wants to reward that. The fact that this person can be pushed down 9 times, but they still get up 10, you know? It's that resilience that they have, I think, that really has shaped their character. Knight of Wands, yeah, like, I can be hurt over and over again, but I'm still gonna put myself out there. I'm still gonna try again. Yeah, because they want to believe that this exists. They want to believe that happy, healthy, you know, connections where their love and their efforts are reciprocated, like they want to believe that this exists, that a fair, balanced connection can exist. And so, you know, like they deserve to be with someone like you who's gonna meet them halfway, that isn't just gonna take from them. Because this person is very giving. The King of Cups, yeah. Like this person likes to wear their heart on their sleeve. Like they like to be loving and generous and kind. You know, they like to be in that way, but they need to be with someone who can match that energy, and they want to feel safe. You know, they want to feel safe to love and to open up and to share. And I feel like you're gonna really bring that sense of safety to them. Yeah, this person's very kind-hearted, very emotionally intelligent, and they're a dreamer. They're a dreamer for sure. I may have mentioned this before on the channel, but when I was in my first grad program, because I left PA school to pursue social work, and when I was in that program, we had someone come in and they did like a little personality test kind of thing with everyone in the room. And so it was like green, orange, blue, gold. Your person is coming through as a blue. So blue people have 2 feet in the water and their eyes to the sky. So they're dreamers, right? Like they're connected to their emotions with the water, but they're looking to the sky, like their head is in the clouds, you know? So this person definitely daydreams a lot. With the way the cat is blushing here, I think this person can be really shy in some aspects. Like with the Knight of Wands, like in some ways they put themselves out there, but in other ways they're surprisingly shy. So I think this person has a very cute, sweet way about them. Yeah, because there's an innocence here. It's like they've endured so much, they've been put through so much, and yet they've retained this innocence that I think is really heartwarming. And I think that's connected to their idealism. Like they are just very idealistic, you know? Like they want to see the best in people. And sometimes they're a bit stubborn about that. Like they just continue to try to see the good in every situation and every experience. They're like, well, how can I like look at this from an optimistic perspective, and how can I move forward from here, you know? Like how can I see this as something that has a higher purpose? I definitely feel like this person's spiritual. They may not be religious, but they're definitely spiritual in some capacity. You kind of have to be. I think to have their mindset in life, you kind of have to be. I think this person is also very artistic. Yeah, they have some kind of creative talent. They definitely could be an artist, a musician, a writer, a poet. They may just have a poet's heart, you know? There's something romantic about the way they speak. Yeah. They may have trouble committing to things sometimes. And I think it's because, and I feel like you may be able to help them with that. I don't mean committing to you like romantically. I just mean in life, sometimes they have trouble committing to things because they can get lost in how things ought to be. Like they can think of how things should be, and when things don't go quite according to their plan, I think it throws them off a little bit, and they can get stuck. You know, like they have a certain vision of how things should go, and if it doesn't come to pass exactly like that, they can get discouraged. So that may be a way that you help them, you know, just continue to encourage them, because I feel like they're very soft-hearted, and because they love so hard and they have like these really big dreams, you know, when things don't go quite, you know, the way that they envisioned, it can be a little bit discouraging to them. It's like their heart's like a peach, you know, and it bruises easily. Eventually they will try again, right? That resiliency, like they will try again. But I think sometimes they can get a little bit down on themselves, and you know, instead of just looking at it like, oh, maybe this is an obstacle, sometimes they can get discouraged and think that they're not good enough. So they're a little bit sensitive, I think, in that way, especially if it's a creative or artistic endeavor. Sometimes they don't see or recognize how talented they are, and I think that's a way that you can help them. Yeah, because no one's perfect, right? Like, you know, I'm most certainly not perfect, you know, so we can't expect this person to be perfect either, right? Like we all have our stuff, we all have our insecurities, and I think, yeah, I think this person doesn't quite recognize how talented they are, their full potential. It could be because they've been treated pretty poorly by other people, so I could see other people being jealous of this person's talents and trying to put them down, and this person absorbing, you know, some of that negativity over time. You know, if people over and over again tell you that you're not good enough, eventually you may start to believe it, right? That may come from their family. We've got the 9 of Pentacles, and we also have the 2 of Swords. Yeah, it's like this person has all of this incredible potential, but sometimes they're blind to it. And I think, again, like, if things don't go quite according to plan, they can, like, stop and drop everything and be kind of stuck at an impasse of, like, should I continue or should I quit? And I think they need someone like you to tell them, keep going, push through, you got this. Yeah, they just need a little bit of encouragement. And I think, again, it's probably because they've had a lot of people in their circle or in their family just really putting them down and not being supportive. How will this connection unfold, please, Spirit? How will this relationship develop over time? We've got the Five of Pentacles here. We have the Hanged Man. I want to get one more card. The Three of Pentacles. Okay. Definitely. I think, no, this could be for both of you. It could just be for your person, but it seems like you're going to come into their life, or you're going to come into each other's life after a period of real hardship, a period of feeling very lonely, of feeling very isolated, of feeling like you're just on your own out in the cold, and you're looking for a lifeline. You know, you're looking for someone to come in and say, hey, like, I can hold space for you. I can be a safe haven for you, because it really feels like, to me, there's a sense of coziness and like a very comforting sort of energy that exists between you two, where you both make each other feel very safe and very protected. And there's, I think, trust is the bedrock. Trust, loyalty, fidelity is the bedrock of this connection. And with the Hanged Man here, it's like, I was feeling lost and I was feeling stuck. And then you come in, and with the Three of Pentacles, like, oh, like, this is someone that is going to help me realize, like, the best version of myself. And I can do the same thing for them with the Six of Pentacles. It's very balanced, right? So you're helping each other. Yeah. I really feel like both of you are, like, each other's biggest fan, you know? Like, there's a real sense here of unconditional support. So I've been reading outside a lot lately. We had a couple days of like really nice, warm, sunny weather. And so I wanted to spend like the whole day outside. And I did for a couple days. I just read outside, you know, as much as I could with like having to work and everything. But when I would come back inside though, right, like your eyes have to adjust. So like I was outside in like the bright sunshine. And then when I come inside, like the house is like really, really dark, right? And so my eyes have to adjust to the artificial light. I'm being shown that. So it kind of gives this energy of, when you're with this person, it's like bright sunshine. And then when you're away from them and you're around other people, there's this feeling of like my eyes have to adjust, right? Like I have to recalibrate myself. Like I can't be as open and as at ease with others the way I am with this person. There's this feeling of like, again, safety. Like I can just be, and I don't have to be guarded, and I don't have to watch my words, and I can just be fully at ease. So I feel like you two are just so comfortable together, because I feel like they feel the same way around you. And especially for them, because I think they have some snakes in their garden. Like they have some people who have not been kind to them. They may have a lot of difficulty, a strained relationship with certain family members. They may not talk to their family, or just, you know, some friends who have treated them really badly, some two-faced people. They've just been in like some toxic environments in their life, you know. It's like this flower that's like trying to bloom, but they're in an environment that isn't conducive to them thriving, you know? Like, I can't thrive in this environment. I'm just trying to survive, you know? So, yeah, with the Three of Pentacles too, I feel like you're both going to be really good for each other's career, because, again, there's just this energy of, like, support, you know? Like, you got this, you can do this. Whatever you're trying to achieve, like, we're really going to be supportive of one another. Okay. Any, like, other messages, Spirit? I'm just going to leave it open and see what Spirit wants to say to us about this connection. We got the Two of Cups. Yeah, some of you guys just need reassurance that this is going to be a healthy, happy connection, you know, like, and I feel like if they were watching this too, they would need to hear that too. You know, it's just, when all you've known is, like, short-lived connections, or, you know, people lying to you, betraying you, hurting you, even beyond, you know, like, romance, if that's been the dynamic with your family or, you know, your close friends, like, you've just been hurt and let down repeatedly, or you feel like you give and other people just take and take and take, you need to hear that. Like, you need that reassurance that real, true, honest love exists. Like, it's out there, you know? Like, I feel like this person just wants to be with someone who's going to be good to them the way that they're good to others, you know? Like, I just want my energy reciprocated with the Six of Cups and the Two of Cups here. So it's going to be a very sweet, very loving connection, you know? It's not, you know, it's not to say that there's not passion here, you know? It's not to say that. It's just to say that the dynamic between you two is really just very sweet and very cozy and comforting. Like, it feels like a mug of hot chocolate. You know what I mean? Like, it just feels soothing to the soul. So yeah, like, maybe you do trade off excitement, but I mean, you don't have drama. I feel like you two also will have a routine that you both really, really love and that you both find comfort in. So you'll have, like, little rituals together, like maybe you'll always have Friday night as date night, or maybe you guys will both like to take a walk after dinner. I don't know. Like, maybe you'll have, like, you know, just certain things, like certain inside jokes, or just little habits that you'll develop over time with each other that I feel like will bring a sense of comfort, because I feel like both of you want something that feels safe, and if that means it's a little bit predictable, it's a little bit predictable. But you don't want to feel like you're on your toes, you don't know what's gonna happen, like, you want something that feels safe. With hope here, we talked about that in the beginning, like, this person's sense of hope and faith really guides their life and their decisions and has built their character. Yeah, like, no matter how hard things have been for them, they've never lost hope. Communication here. I feel like the way you guys speak to each other is really respectful. I feel like even when you're fighting, even when you're disagreeing, you're still really respectful of the other person. I don't see this as being a connection where you have arguments where people are yelling or cursing. You know, it's not like that. It's very respectful of each other. Yeah. Now, with this triggered card here, I do feel like this relationship will bring up some issues from the past, but I think it's because it's such a stark difference, right? Like, it's like this person will treat you so well that it almost makes you want to cry, and you'll do the same for them. I think there's a lot of mirroring going on here. But yeah, I feel like it's like I just want to cry because finally I've met someone who treats me well and treats me the way that I deserve to be treated. And, like, where were you? Like, why couldn't I have met you sooner? You know, it's almost like I'm grieving. It's almost like grieving that time that you wish that you were with them, but you weren't. And maybe you'll have some regrets about being with someone else, or just wishing that you had met them sooner, you know, like tugs at your heartstrings a bit. What will this relationship be like? Group 2. I hope I haven't called you guys Group 1. Group 2. Self-love. Yeah, I mean, it's so sweet, right? Like, gosh, you guys are like caramel or toffee or something. Like, it's so sweet. It's almost like you make my teeth ache, you know? Like, it's just so sweet. Yeah, like your dynamic feels like a hug. It feels so loving. It's like through loving you, I love myself even more deeply because you're good for my soul. It's like your last relationships were like junk food, or their last relationships were like junk food, and it's like, now I have something that actually nourishes me. You know? Like maybe your past connections felt good at first, but then they quickly gave you a stomach ache, you know what I mean? Like, kind of maybe an odd metaphor. But yeah, like, this is what you've known in the past, or what they've known in the past. And it's like, finally, I'm with someone who loves me the way that I deserve to be loved. Yep. From this to this. That's the transition that we're talking about here. Bottom of the deck, we have true love. So yeah, this is the real deal. This is the real deal. It's like finally like meeting your match, you know, like meeting someone that is healthy for you. How will they treat my group 2s? How will this person treat group 2? Rebirth. So definitely there's an energy of Scorpio kind of present in your energy, in your relationship with this person. Like, it's a complete new start. It's a complete new chapter. You've never known a love like this. This is true love, you know. I feel like you haven't really felt this. And for them, because I really feel like there's some issues with their family, I feel like they didn't receive the love that they should have from their parents or whoever their caregiver was growing up. Yeah, I don't feel like they were loved the way they ought to have been loved. For so long, this person felt like there was something wrong with them. And so they had to go through like this healing journey to understand like it wasn't them. You know, there wasn't something wrong with the love they were giving out. It was something wrong with the quality of the people they were trying to love. It's making me think of that song Brutal, where it's like, I love people that I don't like. You know, like almost like tricking themselves or convincing themselves that, okay, here's what it is. And I feel like this message is coming out later in your reading because it's a harder one for them to admit to. And I want to be respectful, you know, of their privacy as well. But I feel like there's an element here with this person where when you don't receive that love that you need in childhood, that affects your ability to form healthy attachments. And I feel like this person was seeking this sense of like home and family so desperately. They were craving that sense of safety and that sense of unconditional love and support. And they were looking for it in all the wrong places. And, you know, when you have that element of like desperation, you're willing to settle, right, for like the first thing that comes along. And so they were tricking themselves and convincing themselves to fall in love with people that at the end of the day, they didn't even really like. You know, like this person was breaking their own heart. They were deceiving themselves. And so they had to go through this like self-love journey and this healing process. And if you feel like you've been waiting a long time to meet your person, this may be why, because this person had to go through a whole journey of loving themselves and understanding that there wasn't anything wrong with them. You know, like I think there were times in this person's life where they felt like maybe they were unlovable and maybe they didn't feel deserving of healthy connections. And so, yeah, I feel like this person has gone through their own personal rebirth period, and I feel like when they come into your life, you may see a lot of dragonflies before you meet this person. But yeah, I feel like you'll represent sort of, we heal our whole lives, but I definitely feel like you'll represent a place of almost like personal achievement, you know, in their self-love journey. Because I think for a lot of you, you'll be this person's first healthy love, the first time they've ever known true love. Because again, I don't even think they got it from their family. With the pleasure card here, I definitely feel like physical intimacy between you two is going to be, let's say, very deeply satisfying. Because, you know, when you feel comfortable with someone, that makes all forms of intimacy more intense, right? Like, because you feel like you can relax, you know? So I feel like that aspect of your connection is going to be really, really nice. And if you've had some insecurities around your physical appearance or just feeling attractive, and I feel like they could have that as well. I feel like you both will be very healing for each other in that way. And there's a sense here of just being open, you know, just being in a place where you feel really safe and you feel really secure, and so you're able to open up about your past and your experiences in a way where, you know, you feel like it's going to be received and it's going to be honored and it's going to be received in a place of non-judgment, you know, like you don't have to worry about this person judging you or making assumptions about you. With creation here, yeah, it's like you see the promise of the future. You see how this can grow. You see how this can develop over time. You see how this can evolve. And you're looking at it like something precious. I think both of you will hold this relationship with reverence. You know, like you're going to both respect each other, but you're going to respect the relationship. I really feel like this is a relationship where you don't have to worry. You don't have to worry. You know, this feels honest and true. It feels like there's no concern about this person straying or you straying. You know, like you're both very, yeah, I think you're both very much in awe. You know, it feels like, why would I squander this beautiful opportunity, a true love that the universe has given me? Like, why would I throw that away? So there's a real, again, respect and reverence for the connection, like understanding that this type of person, this type of compatibility, this level of ease that you feel with them doesn't come by a lot. You know, like this feels like an opportunity. It feels like a chance at something real. And why would you throw that away? Anything else we should know about Group 2's person, please, Spirit? Anything else we should know about Group 2's person? We have consequences here. We have friendship. And we have conspiracy. Oh, I like this. I think this is really speaking to this idea that we were picking up on earlier, that this person has had some snakes in their garden, right? Like they've had some people in their circle that just weren't very kind to them, weren't very good for them, people who really tried to put them down. You know, I think Group 2 is someone, your person. I feel like your person is someone who, again, is very talented and just has so much potential that other people could feel very intimidated by that. They're really special. Like they're very colorful. They're very vibrant. They have a spark to them that isn't easily replicated. And honestly, they kind of have a little bit of stardust, you know, like they have some star power. They have kind of an it factor to them that I think inspires gossip and jealousy, and yeah. And it's so unfortunate that your person didn't recognize their own spark. And so I feel like your person has now come to this realization that, you know, if they don't honor the divine within them, if they don't honor their God-given talents, or, you know, whatever terminology they would use, they do believe in a higher power, something greater than themselves. But if they don't honor that within them, then other people can use it against them as a weapon. So I think that they are now in a place in their self-love journey where they understand the consequences of not believing in themselves, of not following their passions, of not utilizing their talents. And they see how that can make them vulnerable when they deny their talents, when they're overly humble. They see the risk in that. And I also think, you know, in terms of your relationship with this person, there is that, you know, there is that element of being good friends as well. There's a little bit of overlap here with group 1, a little bit. Just more so in terms of the dynamic than the actual person. I don't feel like you really need to watch group 1, but if you want to, obviously you can. Alright, so let's get some zodiac messages for you. So we're going to get 3 potential signs for this person. So this could be their sun, moon, rising, Venus, or Mars. Group 2, we've got Gemini here. Okay, I like to see that. You know, the thing with Gemini people is they have that sense of duality to them, right? And I think this is kind of speaking to this idea of this person being a dreamer, because we were picking up on the beginning that idea of them being like blue, right? Their feet in the water, head in the clouds. And with Gemini energy, it's mutable air. So it's the most, it's the fastest moving, right? And it's funny, like, this person wants to feel safe. They want to feel held. And if you're in a Gemini energy, my moon's in Gemini, so I get this. If you're in a Gemini energy, sometimes that can make you really anxious. It's like your thoughts are moving faster than your feet, you know? Your mind's going a mile a minute. You can second guess yourself, you can overthink a lot, have trouble sleeping. I do think of Gemini as a very creative energy as well. So definitely this person's artistic, and they could be very well spoken. They can definitely have a charming quality to them. And the way that they speak, I think, is quite poetic. There's something about them that's very much romantic. Very much romantic. Yeah, but with Gemini energy, it's like there's an element to them that like wants their freedom, you know, that's a little bit restless, and I think that's their creative side. But it's like, if I don't know how to channel that, if I don't know how to use that in a healthy way, then I can feel very ungrounded. And I think that's why they want to feel safe. They want to feel secure. Like, they want someone to kind of quiet that restless heart, you know? And it's not restless in the sense of like they want to move from partner to partner. It's restless in the sense of like, I've never felt home, and like I'm searching for that. I'm seeking that. And it probably comes from them having a difficult childhood, or again, those issues with their family, issues with their parents, their primary caregiver when they were a child. Okay, let's get another message. We've got Sagittarius, mutable fire, that seeking energy. They're seeking safety. They're seeking a sense of home. You're going to feel like home to them. And I mean, fire sign energy is also very creative. Now we have Aquarius. This is very unique energy. This person's an artist. Just in the way that they live their life, everything about them is an artist. They make life beautiful. They really do. And they're very unique and they're very different. And I don't feel like they're understood by a lot of people. I think that they stand out, and sometimes that gives them anxiety as well. It's like they're a star that's like a shrinking violet. Like, you're meant to be a star. You're meant to be the center of attention. You're meant to be just this force, right? And it's like they shy away from that because they've been told that it's wrong. And so, like, they're a wallflower that's meant to be, you know, like a social butterfly. You know, like, they're meant to be in the center stage. It's really sad how much this person has been repressed in their life. It's kind of a tragedy a little bit. Like, they're a dreamer, they're a creative, they're an artist, they're this beautiful force of life. They have this pure, sweet heart that is just full of hope and love and light, and they've just had people really push them down or make them feel bad for being sensitive, or make them feel bad for having this softer side to them. People who have made them feel bad, especially if they're a man who's in touch with their like feminine side. You know, like the King of Cups would be like a really emotionally intelligent, the most feminine, right, of all the kings, right? Like someone who is really in touch with their heart, and, you know, people making them feel like that's wrong, or like to be in touch with their emotions as a man, someone who, like a man who can cry and not feel embarrassed about it, like people making them feel bad for that, like it's wrong. Okay. Also, I think this person has a really unique sense of style. A really unique sense of style. Yeah. They have an eye for fashion, an eye for style, an eye for beauty and aesthetics in general, because they're an artist. Everything they do beautifully. I think even the way this person moves, they're very graceful, very intentional in their movements. I don't know, like they come across like they're like a painting, right? Like they're moving art, like everything about them. You're gonna feel very charmed by this person. Very charmed. They have this quality to them. It's very like girlish or boyish. It's very endearing and very sweet and very, yeah, this person's very attractive. I don't think they would realize that, but they're physically very attractive. Not only in just their general physical appearance, but also in their style and the way that they move and their essence. It's very engaging. There's something about this person's voice that could be very musical as well. Let's see how you can meet this person. Third house. You can meet them online. It doesn't necessarily have to be through a dating app, but you can meet them online, maybe through social media. You can meet them through mutual friends as well. I'm also hearing through a random conversation. Maybe one of you approaches the other person in like a public setting and just strikes up a conversation. You know, you could be like waiting in line somewhere and they just start talking to you, or you start talking to them. Or, you know, sometimes when you're in a social setting and it's kind of awkward, like maybe you're both in an elevator at the same time and you just make small talk. Or they make small talk. We have the first house. Could be through something that you really enjoy doing, like a hobby that you have. So like, you know, maybe you're like me and you like to read, and you go to the park one day and you're reading your book and you meet this person. You know, you're going out for a swim at the beach and you meet this person. You know, something that you enjoy doing, a hobby of yours. You can meet them through maybe a mutual interest that you have. The first house could also indicate that you attract this person just by being yourself. So, you know, you're out and just doing your errands, going about your day, and there's something about you that draws this person in. So they could say, hey, I like your necklace, I like your sweater, what's that book you're reading? Or like, oh, I like that. I like those chips too. Maybe you're at the grocery store and you both reach for the same bag of chips. Something small that could lead to something bigger. Or you're just very, you're this person's type, and yeah, they're just attracted to you physically and they start talking to you. They are very charming. They're very charming. It's like this person has so much charisma, but they don't realize it. The 9th house, you could meet them while you're traveling, while you're on vacation, while they're traveling, while they're on vacation. When you're out of your normal environment, I'm hearing you could meet them. There's several, these are a little bit more spread out. Group 1 was a little bit more concentrated. So this is telling me you have a lot of opportunities to run into this person. The universe could be setting this up for you. So it's like if you miss one opportunity, you haven't missed your chance. The universe will just set something else up. Like you're meant to meet this person. I'm starting to lose my voice, so I'm gonna have to take a break before I film group 3. But anyway, let's use our grab bag and this will wrap up your reading. All right, group 2, who is this person? Any final messages here? I don't have a certain number. I just grab as many that feel right and then I stop. And I dropped one. Okay, let's see. You guys could be the same age or close in age, so not a big age gap. This could also be relative, right? So like, what do you think is close in age? Do you think 2 years is close in age? Do you think a year apart is close in age? So that could be a little bit relative, given that this is, a general reading. They're very witty, they're very clever. They like banter. So they're a person after my own heart. Yeah, they're very smart. And I mean, with Gemini energy too, it's very fast moving. It's very clever. Very clever. It's that they think fast on their feet, I think sometimes they'll say something to you and it's just so surprising. It's like, wow, like, how did you come up with that? Like their mind moves so fast. They're so creative in the way that they think and the way that they process things. Their perspective is very unique. And I think that's why they have such a beautiful energy to give to the world. They're very attractive. I told you, this person's very attractive, very charming, but it's like they don't see it. It's like they would be the last to know how attractive they are. They have good cheekbones. They have prominent cheekbones. So this could be like a wine and dine courtship. So you will have like kind of like a formal kind of dating process with this person. Yeah, so they will ask you out on a date, or you will go out on a date with this person. You'll have, nice dates with them. It's not going to be like, oh, we were friends and then one day we started making out and now we're a couple. It's like you do go out on like formal arranged dates with this person. They could buy you gifts and things like that. Like buy you flowers. This person's a romantic. So, they're going to do the flowers and the chocolates or perfume or I don't know, like nice little thoughtful gestures and things like that. Things specific to you that you like. This person's going to be very sweet and very thoughtful, very mindful about what you like. And they're almost going to be taking like mental notes and observing you. Artists tend to do that, right? Like they pay close attention to people. I think artists really like to people watch. Like very creative people are very observant. So yeah, I think that I think it's going to surprise you. You'll mention something to this person and they'll remember it and they'll, buy you something or do something for you that's very sweet and very thoughtful. And you'll be like, wow, I don't even remember telling you that. I don't even remember mentioning that to you. So this person's very thoughtful. And we have brown eyes. Brown eyes, they could have brown eyes. Now, with physical features, always take that with a grain of salt, you know, if it doesn't resonate, because it is a general reading. Okay, so group 2, this was your reading. I hope you enjoyed it, and take care. Group 3, so let's get into it. Your next relationship, what do we need to know? A big thank you to my guides and your guides for coordinating these messages. I am going to be using 2 other tarot decks today because I was just in the mood to use a couple different tarot decks. Okay, we've got the 6 of Wands to start us off. Let's see, group 3. We've got the King of Wands and the Chariot. Okay. This has a very different vibe than the first 2 groups, but I'm living for it. So, with the 6 of Wands, King of Wands, and the Chariot card being present here, this person is really going to actively pursue you. Now, if you're watching this and you feel like you're the King of Wands, like you really resonate with that masculine energy, or if you're a Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, and you feel more comfortable in a masculine energy, then, you know, this could be you pursuing this other person, but I'm just going to read it like the King of Wands is this future partner. And like I said, if you need to, you can flip the messages. It's a general reading, so, you know, always apply it how it resonates, but I'm going to read it like this is your future partner because I think that's the case for most of you. So anyway, this person's going to actively pursue you. With the 6 of Wands here, it's almost like this King of Wands sees this character here as a real catch, like, you know, catching the eye here. And there's a little bit of mystery here, like the eye patch with the little heart, like, you know, it's a little bit coy, a little bit playful, like I want to know more. Like I see this person as, I don't want to say they see you as like a prize to be won, but they definitely see you as someone who is worth the effort. You know, like you're worth the effort. Like I'm curious, I want to know more, like you're intriguing to me, and like you're this person's cup of tea, like you're this person's type. But also there's something about you that feels special, and I think there's something about your energy too that makes this person want to work a little bit harder for you. Yeah, I definitely feel like there's something unique about you. You know, there's something different about Mary. There's something different about group 3 that is really catching this King of Wands eyes, you know. And with the Chariot, like I'm going to actively pursue you, like I'm going to chase you, I'm going to show you that I'm interested and make a move towards you. So this King of Wands would definitely make the first move. And we'll get some zodiac messages too at the end of your reading, but so far we definitely have some fire sign energy. We also have Cancer coming through with the Chariot, but yeah, I think that they are very physically attracted to you, but there's something about your energy, like, yeah, you're this person's type, but it's more than that, because they are really like, they're very into you, like right straight off the cuff, you know, there's something about you. Maybe it's your voice, maybe it's your confidence, maybe it's something about your personality that just, you know, like hook, line, and sinker, you know, like you caught this person's eye, you caught their attention, and they're interested, you know, and this person is definitely very confident and pretty, pretty straightforward too, kind of similar to group one in a way where, you know, they're very, they're forthright about their intentions towards you. Like, I think it's going to be very obvious that this person is into you and that they're attracted to you. I think the difference between you and group one would be that this one's a little bit more playful. I'm not saying that they're going to play games or anything like that, but it feels like this person, I don't know, there's a little bit of a, I'm hearing a cheekiness to them. I know that's like a British term, but that's what I'm hearing. There's a cheekiness, like they're really clever, really playful. They like to tease. They like to tease a lot, you know what I mean? Like they like a banter back and forth, you know? So yeah, they're definitely carrying the energy too of someone who's really funny. Yeah, they're a little bit of a jokester, for sure. I think that would be how they would chat you up. Like if they approached you, I definitely feel like they would make some jokes. Yeah, they definitely lead with humor for sure. Okay, let's get some more information about this. What will be the dynamic between you two? Or Spirit, can you tell us more about this person even? Okay. You may have other people around you at this time, or this person may perceive you as someone who has a lot of options, and it's like, I'm willing to fight for you, you know, like I'm willing to do whatever it takes to be the one who like wins your heart. You have the Chariot again. Like this person is really like, you may not make them chase you, but they're willing to chase you. You know what I mean? Like, if you pushed this person off or pretended like you weren't interested, I feel like that would just make them want you even more. You know what I mean? Like this person doesn't back down from a challenge. And not to say that they're gonna like force themselves on you or anything like crazy, but just more so like if you acted disinterested or if you were playing hard to get for whatever reason, I don't know. I feel like they would be like, okay, well, maybe I should try to be this person's friend, or maybe I should be more patient, or maybe I need to change my approach. That could be maybe it, is that maybe they come on a little too strong in the beginning, and maybe you're just someone who's more introverted, more withdrawn, or maybe you just don't, maybe you're just suspicious, because I'm kind of like this myself. Like, if I'm out and about and a stranger approaches me, I'm like immediately like on guard, you know? I think that's the case for a lot of women, especially like if some strange guy is just approaching you, you're like, what do they want? You know? Or maybe that's just me, but yeah, like maybe this person is too flirtatious for your liking, or they're too straightforward, or maybe they come on a little too strong for you in the beginning, and maybe they have to soften their approach, maybe they have to make some adjustments there. Maybe you're just more introverted and they're like very extroverted, and so there's a little bit of a disconnect in that aspect in the beginning. Yeah, because this person's very extroverted. Very extroverted. And it could be as well that maybe there's something distracting you when you first meet them with the Five of Wands here. Yeah, and sometimes it's like that, right? Like when you're really busy or you're really focused on something and someone approaches you, you know, you may be a little bit short with them. You may like kind of brush them off because you're so focused on what you're doing. That could be the case as well. Yeah, like, because the Chariot can also talk about, like you could be distracted, like trying to make a decision about something, and this person interrupts you, like in your thought process, like your mind's just somewhere else. And So maybe that's why they interpret it as you're not interested in them romantically, but really like your mind's somewhere else. You know, you've got a lot going on. That could also be the case too, like you're really busy. So there's a lot in your life that's, you know, kind of like pulling on your attention. And so, you know, there may just be a need for communication there. Like, hey, like I am interested. I just am really busy with work and school or family issues are going on, or, you know, whatever. I'm having some health issues, whatever the case it is, you know what you got going on in your life. You know, that could be them interpreting like you're not interested and really you're just busy. So yeah, always take what resonates, of course, but yeah, I do think it is, I don't know, there's a little bit of rockiness in the beginning, or a little bit of a misunderstanding that causes them to either make adjustments in how they're pursuing you, or pursue you more actively. There's just something there where, you know, like they don't want to give up. Like I feel like this person kind of falls for you like immediately. Like they just fall head over heels for you, and they just can't stop thinking about you, you know? They're like lovesick. They're a little lovesick. Yeah. I don't think they're used to that. I don't think they're used to that at all. I think you kind of hit them like lightning. Yeah, the Knight of Cups. Yeah, like lover boy. Knight of Cups. Like, yeah, I'm sorry. Gender really doesn't matter here, of course. But, yeah, they're just coming in, man. Really trying to win you over here. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but there's something there where they're really just trying to win you over. Maybe, too, because the King of Wands, right? Like, he's a flirt. He's a flirt. So maybe there's something there where maybe you don't trust this person because you're like, oh, there's something about them. Like, they're a little bit too charming, a little bit too attractive, you know? Like, not quite sure about that. Maybe you just have trust issues, but they're, like, willing to wait that out. You know, they're willing to prove themselves, because it may be a case, too, where they're like, well, you know, like, if I have to earn your trust, then I will. You know, time will tell, right? Like, I'll just keep repeatedly showing up for you. And, you know, I don't care if, yeah, judgment here. Oh, I love to see that. Yeah. So they are, like, honestly, like, very into you, you know, and they have good intentions. But, I think it's a case where it's like time will tell. Like, I can't make you believe it because you're not willing to take me at my word when I state my intentions, or when I state, you know, that I am serious about you. For whatever reason, you're not buying it. So I'll just keep showing up for you until you believe me. Yeah, the Hanged Man. I don't think this person is very similar to your past partners. I think there's something quite different about them, and maybe that makes you a little nervous. Like, both of you, I think, almost kind of strike each other like lightning, because this feels like very out of the blue. Kind of this feeling of like, I was wanting love, but now it's knocking, and now all of a sudden, like, I'm getting cold feet. You know, like how people are on their wedding day. It's like it's the happiest of times, and yet there's that anxiety, right? Because it is such a big occasion. It is such a big moment. And even though it's very happy and very positive, it can still bring up a lot, right? Because change can trigger anxiety even when it's the best change ever, you know? So even when it's something we've prayed for and wanted, it can still rock our world a bit, right? So yeah, I think it's like, I've been wanting love for so long, and now it's here and someone's offering it to me, and it's a little scary, right? It's a little scary to trust again. It's a little scary to open up again. But I do think with the Hanged Man, there's going to be like this epiphany moment where it just clicks and you're like, oh, okay, like this is my person. You know, like this is the person that I've been asking, you know, the universe to send my way. Like, okay. There's going to be something that they do, something that happens that just flips your perspective of them. Because I do think maybe you form some false assumptions about them. And I think it comes from their charm, you know, like I think there's something about that you don't trust. Like, they're too charming, you know? So maybe you think they're chatting up a lot of different people. I could see that being a thing. I don't know, I'm vibing with this deck for you all. Yeah, the High Priestess. Like, you go by your intuition. And with this person, you know, I think it's one of those situations where it feels right, and yet because it's so new, like when this person comes out of the blue into your life, right? Like, it's so new that you question your own intuition, you question your own judgment, like, why does this feel right? Why does this feel good? You know, and instead of just leaning into it, you know, it's like this resistance on your part of opening yourself up to love. And if, you know, this could be this person's energy, and, you know, it depends if you resonate as the King of Wands or not. Like I said, if you need to flip it, flip it. Yeah, so I think you are meant to watch this reading because this could change, right? Like, the future is not set in stone. So if you remember this reading in the future and you meet someone like this, then maybe it can make the initial meeting a lot smoother. If you can remember this reading and be more open to it, you know, or communicate more clearly with each other. I think if you were to share your fears, share your hesitations with this person, they would definitely be willing to soften their approach and not come on so strong, you know, because to them, I don't think, from their perspective, they're not coming on strong, you know, that's your perspective. So, I think maybe that's just the difference, that you're a little bit more reserved than they are, and they're, you know, more of like a life of the party kind of energy. They just kind of barrel into things. Yeah, the High Priestess again. Like, you're more of a mystic type of person, you know, like, you're a bit more reserved. You know, you like to kind of sit back and observe people, and so you hold back a lot. And then when you feel safe and when you feel comfortable, then you open up. Whereas, you know, they just, you know, I am what I am. You know, like, they just lay it all out on the table and you can take it or leave it. That's the King of Wands. You know, they're just this force, whereas, like, you are like a gentle current. You know, like, they come crashing in like a wave, and you're, you know, the gentle breeze on a lake. You know, it's just a different kind of approach to life and dating and everything. And so it's definitely an opposites attract kind of thing. It's definitely, oh gosh, it's like you're mesmerized by each other because of that difference. The Seven of Swords, yeah, I mean, you have your reasons, right, to be cautious. The Seven of Swords is a difficult energy. It's my least favorite card, but I understand its function and its utility in the tarot. But it's a yucky kind of energy, you know, it's deceitful, it's dishonest, it's stab you in the back and laugh about it kind of energy. It's sneaky and underhanded. It's someone stealing something from you, whether it's energetically or emotionally or physically stealing from you. It's rough. It's a rough energy, and I think that's what you've known in the past. And so, yeah, of course you're guarded. That's a natural response. You know, if you've been stabbed in the back, you're going to be guarded. Like, you know, it's logical to be that way, you know, if that's been your experience. So it's understandable that you would have your reservations, that you would have maybe some walls up. It's not that you don't want to be open to love. It's, you know, you may be watching this and really desiring a connection. Like I said, I don't think it's that you're not open to love. You know, you want love, but it's more about, you know, you can be desiring love and still feel afraid of getting your heart broken again, and still feel cautious about it. And, you know, you can feel both ways. It's not one or the other. Yeah, I feel like you needed some validation in that aspect. Not that you need me to validate you, but from your guides, I feel like you needed that reassurance. Ten of Cups. Yeah, like, you do want this. Like, you do want love. You do want stability. You want a partner that you can grow together with the Ten of Cups, right? Like, emotional fulfillment. I feel like this Ten of Cups is really coming through to really kind of point us to this idea that, like, yes, this person is really charming, and, like, yes, this person is, like, really fun and adventurous and passionate and all of that good stuff, but that doesn't mean that they don't have emotional depth to them, and it doesn't mean that they aren't reliable, you know. I think sometimes with fire signs, like, I'm a Leo myself, but I think sometimes with fire signs we can look at them as like, well, yeah, they're fun, but they're not here for a long time, you know, they're not as stable or grounded as like an earth sign, but, you know, fire signs can be just as loyal and just as committed. So I feel like you needed that reassurance that, like, you know, if that's what you're wanting, this person could provide that. The Knight of Cups again. This person's not afraid to have to prove themselves to you, you know? And you know, this kind of reminds me, there's a reality TV show called Married to Medicine, and on that show there is, you know, a doctor and a wife, and they knew each other when they were in college together, and they, you know, she was with him after she graduated, and then she helped support him while he was in med school, and so they've been together for a long time, they have children and the whole deal, right? But, you know, before she met him, she had a lot of relationships where, you know, she was cheated on, she was lied to, she was treated really poorly, and so her husband said, like, I understand that it's not about me. Like, when those old insecurities flare up and she gets worried because I was working late at the hospital and, you know, she thinks that I was with someone else even though, like, I've given her no cause, right, to be suspicious. I understand that it's not about me, it's about her past and about what she's known before. And so if I have to have more patience with her about that, then I will, because my marriage is worth that. You know, like, I can give her that grace. I can give her the grace of patience, essentially, because I get it. And I knew about her past when we got together, and I understand that, you know, sometimes, like, I'm being punished because of the mistakes of people she's met before, and that's something she's healing, and it's something she's working on, but she's not on the other side of it yet, and that's okay. You know, and so I think that if there's something there, you know, where maybe you are being a little unfair to this King of Wands in the beginning, and maybe you are, you know, suspicious or guarded or whatever, and maybe if that even continues once you're in a relationship with them and those old insecurities flare up, you know, because this person's so charming and attractive, and maybe they attract a lot of attention because of that, you know, if those old insecurities flare up and you're worried that they're lying to you or that, you know, they've been with someone else or something like that, I feel like this person is like, okay, like, I get where this is coming from. I get that it's not about me. It's not giving you a get out of jail free card. Like, you obviously, like, if there's something you need to heal, like, you can still work on that. But sometimes we heal through our connections with other people. And so I think to have someone in your life like this that is willing to be loyal and willing to give you patience and grace and space, I think that's really beautiful, you know, and you may help them heal some things too. And so I think that's really nice that they're willing to, you know, put in the effort and show you that they're trustworthy, you know, even if they have to do that time and time and again before you actually are able to fully trust them, you know, they're willing to do that. Because I think trust is like everything to you, and I don't think that you trust very easily. You know, and that's because of that Seven of Swords. 100%. Yeah, Three of Cups, Two of Pentacles. I think Spirit just really wanted to acknowledge this for you, because the Three of Cups can talk about infidelity, and then with it coming out with the Two of Pentacles here, like, you've dealt with people who are wishy-washy. You've dealt with people who didn't choose you, people who were half in, half out, and this person's all in. Like, I feel like this person really falls in love with you the moment they see you, and that's just how they are, you know. And with the Magician here, you know, it's that out of the blue, like, where did you come from, you know? Yeah, they just know right away. I mean, I'm even seeing the Ace of Swords here too. And I think you're different. I don't think that you fall in love like that at all. And I think that's part of what this, like, trust issue comes from as well, because when they may say I love you really soon, you know, and you may think that they're lying or that they're just saying that to get something from you. You know, like, I feel like they fall for you so hard, so fast, and you look at that and you think maybe it's shallow, or maybe it's superficial, or, you know, maybe they just want your body, and so you don't trust it, and, you know, you don't fall in love like that, so you question it, you know, because I feel like for you it's something that evolves over time, you know, and I feel like maybe you fell in love hard and quickly in the past and got burned, and that's why you're not like that, or maybe you've just always been, you know, more slow to open up to love. But yeah, and it could be, again, like this idea of like your intuition is so on point, but sometimes you repress it. Like, you're so intuitive, but you don't lean into that all the time. Sometimes you you know, get caught up in your mind, and I think again, it's your past. Okay, how will this person treat you? Group 3, how will this King of Wands character treat you? Intuition. Oh man, yeah. I think this person helps you to trust your own intuition more. Because again, like, you're highly intuitive. I think you all are definitely the psychic group today. But I think that, because remember, the King of Wands, like, he lives by his heart, he goes with his gut. And that's slightly different than going with your intuition, but, you know, I think there's an aspect there where you see how this person just jumps into things, and if their heart is in it, they're all in it, you know? And they don't sit around and overthink anything. And I think over time that could be you know, pretty inspiring to you. But I also feel like you're gonna intuitively feel drawn to this person even when your mind is resisting. And, you know, over time, as they prove themselves to you, you're gonna be like, man, I really could have listened to my intuition on this one. Even if logically, on paper, maybe we're so different, it doesn't seem like we would be compatible, and yet it works. Because there's something there about, like, the love between us isn't logical, but it works. Like, we're so different, but it works. We seem like mismatched, we seem like an odd couple, but it works. They are very attracted to your physical body, though. Like, again, like, I feel like you're exactly this person's type, but it's like you're their type, but then there's that extra bit of magic to you, because they look at you like you're magic. And I think if you're a little bit insecure about certain things, that maybe where that distrust comes from as well. Like, you don't believe them when they say how beautiful they find you or how attractive they find you. Or you may think that because they are so physically attracted to you, that again is all that they're interested in. But the Ten of Cups, they want more than that. Sorry about the sirens going in the background. Maybe there's a real fire between you two. I live near a fire station, though. I'm just being funny. Okay. Man, come on. How are they going to treat you? The cards are... Oh, here we go. Abundance. Let go. Conjure. Craft. Didn't I tell you, like, there's a magic to you? You guys may be a little bit witchy. Yeah. They feel like... Oh, look at the moon here. It reminds me of Phoebe Bridgers' Moon song. Go listen to that song. Yeah, like, I would give you the moon. Like, if I could, I would give you the moon. But you're holding me in your hands like water. Like, that's something there with you, like... There's something about you that feels very much like you belong deeply to yourself. And that could be because you've been single for a long time, or you're just a really independent person. But, you know, it's like... This person really admires and respects sort of almost like this lone wolf quality that you have. Because I think this person, because they're so extroverted, like, they do need people. Like, they really get energized by talking to others and socializing and, you know, going out and meeting people and all that. Like, they really draw from that. So to see you, like, not need the crowd, you know, to see you totally happy and content on your own, I think is really mysterious and intriguing to them. It's very alluring, you know, because again, like, it's like they're mesmerized by what makes you two so different. And there's an elusive quality to you, like, you know, you're holding me in your hands like water, like you know, just like you're slipping through my fingers, you know. And the fact that you so very clearly don't need them, I think, is really attractive to them. You know, they admire your independence. You know how some people say, like, you shouldn't pick flowers? You know, like, if you really admire their beauty, let them be. You know, don't pick them and take them inside where they're gonna die. You know, let them be out in nature. Like, that's kind of how this person looks at you. Like, they want to have you, they want to hold you, but they kind of understand the magic of you. And I kind of feel like this person almost feels like, well, like, if I can't have this person, then I will still admire them from afar. You know what I mean? Like, there's something about you where they just kind of can't let you go, you know? Like, you really capture their attention. Like, and I feel like they have such respect for you. And it's a shame because I don't think you see that in the beginning, but they have such respect for you and your individuality. And it's like, even when you're in a relationship with them, it's like they would never want to taint that. They would never want to take that away from you. Like, they always want you to feel like an individual. Like, even though we're together, like, I still want you to be the magical, mystical person that I fell in love with. Like, I never want you to feel caged. I mean, you see, like, the wolf here and the owl here. Like, I never want you to feel caged. And, like, how her hair is, like, wrapping around the moon, like there's something about you that, because the moon goes through phases, right? Like, we can't always see the entirety of the moon, even though it's there. It's like, if you needed some space, if you needed some time apart from this person, they would give it to you. Like, they will always respect, like, your right to your freedom. Like, as far as you wanted to travel from them, they would let you. Like, they never want you to feel caged or trapped by them. And, you know, and I don't necessarily mean, like, physical distance, like, because I feel like you're in your head a lot. So, like, if this person would never be like, what are you thinking? What are you thinking? What are you know, like, if your mind's somewhere else, your mind's somewhere else. Like, they give you that space, you know, like, they don't always expect to have your full attention all the time, you know, and they give you breathing space, you know, because I feel like that's part of it too, is that, like, you really need your space and your time to yourself, because, again, it seems like you're a real introvert. Like, you need that. And I think it's hard for them sometimes, you know, because they have that extroverted side to them. You know, they may want to spend more, like, quality time with you, but I feel like they get it, you know, like, they want you to shine in your own way, and they don't want to, they're not trying to change you. You know, like, this person accepts you as you are. And that acceptance, that acknowledgement, like, I see you, I think is really what is gonna kind of give you that light bulb moment where you understand this person is being real with you when they say they love you. They're not just saying it to get something from you. It comes from a genuine place. I just keep hearing stardust, stardust, stardust. We have sing, vocalize, communicate, and chant. There's kind of this feeling that it's like you two are on two different frequencies, right? And like this person is trying to tune into your frequency. Like they're really trying to figure out how to almost like speak your language and understand what they need to do to get you to open up. Because I feel like that's the biggest thing, is like they want to know you. But to do that, they have to get closer to you. And I feel like, you know, you don't let people in very easily. So I think it's a journey, it's a process here. And it's all about you feeling like you can. Like it's not going to come back and bite you later. And then we have Midsummer, prosper, progress, and cultivate. You know, in Shakespeare's, what is it, Midsummer's Night's Dream or something like that? Or it's like the wrong people ending up together. Yeah, I feel like this person isn't who you expected to fall in love with. I don't think this person is, because there's something about them that surprises you, you know? You are like an odd couple, opposites attract. Like, you know, you're really very different from each other, and you know, it may even surprise your friends or your family members when they meet, you know, this King of Wands. You know, when you bring them around and you introduce them to people in your life, you know, people may be surprised that you fell for this person. And I think they come in your life at a time when maybe you've just given up, you know, and you've stopped looking for love. You may be a little bit jaded when they come in. They could come into your life, you know, midsummer time as well, if we take this literally. Even just the way that, like, I've laid out these cards now that I'm looking at it, like, she's kind of, like, tilting her gaze a little bit. She's kind of side-eyeing him, you know? It's like, there's that hesitancy, but, you know, honestly, I think it has a lot to do with your past and your personality and just this. I don't think you're the type of person to just give away your heart, you know, at the drop of a hat, you know. I think maybe if you did that in the past, you're like, not ever again. Never again. And so this person is like wearing their heart on their sleeve, you know, they're just all in it. And I think it makes you nervous. Can we get some more information, please, Spirit, about this person? What do we need to know? What have we not asked that we need to know? Not true. Yeah, you make some assumptions about this person, or there may be some chatter about this person, some gossip about this person that's not true. Just be mindful of whatever information, or if you see something online, like maybe you do a little internet stalking or something, be careful about whatever assumptions you're making, because they may be false. I just feel like it's also talking more about gossip, though. I feel like there's some gossip about this person that's not true. With this wealth card here, that could also be part of it. Maybe there's a difference in like class here. So this person could be really wealthy. Maybe you assume that they're spoiled because of that. Maybe they come from a privileged background. Crush. I mean, yeah, they definitely have a crush on you. They could have a crush on you now if you know this person, but yeah, they will definitely have a crush on you straight out the gate. And then we have left behind here. Yeah, it really does feel like they are the ones pursuing you pretty actively here. And I wonder also if maybe they have some other sort of entanglement. It doesn't feel like a relationship, but maybe there's some kind of situationship going on where, you know, like they see you, I'm telling you, and that's it for them. You know, like they just, you hit them like a train, you know, like they just fall in love with you, like, you know, and you may not believe in love at first sight, but they do, you know, like, or at least they do when they see you. And so they may shed some other connection in their life. Maybe someone that they have like a friends with benefits situation with or something like that. Or maybe an ex that they were still talking to. And that could be why there's a little bit of gossip, you know, around this. Maybe you hear that they are with someone else, but they're really not. Yeah. Anyone else that they were talking to at the time, they would definitely just end that. Because I'm telling you, like, they see you and that's it for them. You know, like, they want you. And this person is a little bit competitive, you know, like, they're really confident. And they're, you know, I mean, if you're with someone else at the time, like, I don't feel like that would deter them, to be honest with you. Because in their mind, like, you're the one, and that other connection isn't meant to be. So they wouldn't, morally, I don't know how you feel about that, but I feel like they would be like, well, I would treat group 3 better than that. I'm the one for group 3, you know? And for them to stay with that other person would make them both unhappy long term because group 3 is meant to be with me. Like, they just, I don't know. I'm just telling you what I'm seeing in the cards. That's how they would feel. But honestly, I think it's more so that they may have an entanglement. And that's the word that's coming through most strongly, is an entanglement. It's not coming through like, oh, they have a girlfriend or whatever. They're telling me entanglement. So maybe that's an ex that's like trying to get back together with them, or I don't know, something like that. Maybe they are going through a divorce, you know, depending upon your age, maybe that's a thing. We've got acceptance here at the bottom of the deck. We talked about this before, that we also have confidence here, definitely. We have confidence on one side and we have fear on the other. So it's like, this is their energy, this is yours. You know, but they accept you. Like 110%. Like, they're willing to meet you where you're at. And they're coming on very strong, but if you say slow it down, they'll slow it down. This is a soulmate connection. Yeah. And that's why I think you have this hold on them, because it's, you know, it's at a soul level. They can't just forget about you. Like, you are implanted in their psyche. Like, you got some kind of hold on them. It's probably a soul contract, because it feels like serendipitous. It feels like fate. Soul connection again. Again. Opposites attract. Gifts. Yeah, that's definitely, like I said, they're a little bit of a show off too. And we got the wealth card here, so yeah, I could see them trying to like lay out the money. You know what I mean? Like, let me show you a really good time here, like taking you out on these like extravagant dates and things like that. They're a show off. I mean, they are, you know, it's the King of Wands. Like, come on. Yeah, because they feel like you deserve it. They feel like you deserve to be treated like, you know, like a king or a queen. You know, so they're definitely putting you on a pedestal. And they are trying to get you to open up. Like, so bad, group 3. They want to know you. And I think it's part of it is that they're feeling all of these intense feelings for you. So intense. And it's like their mind wants justification for it. You know, like, but their heart wants what their heart wants, you know, and it's, they can't help it. Like, they can't help how they feel about you. It's chemistry here. You know, it's like an explosion. It's a highly, highly passionate connection. Group 2 is like sweet and cozy, and you guys are just fire. At least on their end. I think there's a mutual attraction here. It's just that you won't let yourself feel it. You know, and you're really good at repressing how you're feeling. And because I feel like you're definitely a more controlled person. With a keep going card, like, and the growth card coming out next to it, like, they're willing to be patient with you. They're going to be persistent, but they're willing to they're willing to take a slower approach, but you got to tell them that that's what you need. Yeah. And that's really it, is that I feel like you've had so many karmic connections, you know, that were difficult and trying for you, both romantically and platonically as well. You know, that Seven of Swords, like, a lot of those past connections were trying to get you to recognize your own self-worth and that you deserve better. And so you're just afraid of repeating the past. Yeah, like, I feel like you make these assumptions about this person that they're a player, or, you know, that they are, you know, just someone who wants to party and have a good time, or, you know, someone who just wants your physical body, and then you're not taking them seriously. When they say that they're in love with you, you don't take it serious. But they're dead serious. Yeah, like, it's really up to you to say yes to this, because there's no doubt in their mind. And we're talking about your next relationship, so obviously you do say yes, but yeah, they would say they manifested you. They would say you're the one. So winter season could be significant, or the months of December, January, February. Winter also goes into March, so I don't know why this doesn't also say March. But anyway, it depends on where you live, obviously, but where I'm at, winter season includes March. But anyway, this could be significant, but I also feel like this is speaking metaphorically as well, because you're kind of like winter, you know what I mean? Like, you're a little misunderstood sometimes, and you can be a little bit cold, but there's warmth to be found in winter, right? Like, you just kind of have to make it for yourself, and we do that through traditions and holidays and cozy fires and, you know, things like that. So yeah, I feel like there's an energy to you that's a little bit misunderstood, but I feel like this person is like, you know, we're so different, but like, I want to understand you. And that they will accept you 100%. I think that's going to feel it's like you're like a book that has sat on a shelf for so long, and you've collected all of this dust, and you're happy and content on your little shelf, you know, it's safe there, and someone comes and they pick you up and they start to try to read you, and you get, you know, and it's like, no, like, this is my story, you know, you don't get to just come and take me away from my cozy little shelf. This is a weird analogy, I know, but this is what they're showing me. And this person's like, okay, well, I was trying to read the first chapter, but can I just read a page? And you're like, maybe just a paragraph. You know, maybe just the first sentence, buddy. So yeah, I feel like it's gonna be something slow that develops over time, and they are gonna come on maybe too strong and slow it down when you tell them to slow it down. And yeah, okay, let's see, is there anything, let's just go back to our first tarot deck here. Is there anything about this person's personality that I've missed, Spirit? Because I feel like maybe I'm missing something. I don't know why, I just feel like I'm missing something. Group 1, I'm not group 1, God, group 3. Let's not take it that far back. Group 3. What am I missing here? Group 3, what am I missing? Okay. We've got the 3 of Swords. And we've got the 3 of Wands. One more card, please, Spirit. 6 of Pentacles. Shut the front door. Okay. I'm glad I asked for a few more messages for you. Bottom of the deck, we have the Hermit. This is you. This is you. You may be a Virgo. You don't have to be. Yeah, you may be coming out of like a dark night of the soul or something like that. Or just a period in your life where you were alone for a while, like I said, like that book collecting, you know, dust on a shelf, like just feeling over it, you know, just to the point to where, you know, you just want your peace. And, you know, you feel most at peace when you're in your own energy. And so you may be very withdrawn and reserved during this time, and when you get like that, like, yeah, you're protecting your peace, but you're also not letting anything in. And so, like, yeah, you know, you feel peaceful, but you're also denying yourself the chance at love and fun and all of that good stuff. And sometimes that brings an element of chaos, right? Like, whenever you're in a relationship, it's not just about you anymore, it's about someone else and their problems too. So I feel like that's the wager here with the Six of Pentacles. That's the wager. And, you know, I feel like this person's like all about the Three of Wands, you know, like they're ready for an adventure with you, but you're hesitating with that Three of Swords. Here's the here's the extra message that we were missing before, is that this person has also known the Three of Swords, and this person has also had their heart broken, and this person has also been lied to and treated poorly in their past. But for them, it's always worth it. You know what I mean? Like, the risk is always worth the reward. So they will gladly have their heart broken again and again and again if it means that they are still moving towards love, because they see it as worth it, right? And they kind of have this understanding too, to take it a little bit further, that everything ends, you know. And I had I may have mentioned this before on my channel, but I had a conversation with a friend who lost their father recently, and she was saying, seeing her mom go through that, she really didn't want to pursue a long-term romantic connection in the future, because she didn't want to have a loss like that. You know, she didn't want to have to go through what her mom has gone through. And, you know, I heard, you know, I gave space to her, and, you know, I didn't invalidate her or anything like that. But I was thinking about it, and I was like, you know, the loving is always worth it, I think. You know, like, if you protect yourself and say, I never want to have grief in my life. Grief is part of living. You know, we lose everything eventually, including ourselves. Like, we, you know, like, the one thing guaranteed in life is death, right? So it's a natural process, and we know from our tarot, right, that death is just another beginning, right? It's an ending to something and a beginning to something else. And so I guess that the point of all of this is to say that this person is open to life completely. It's highs and it's lows, and this person understands you can't have the highest of highs without the lowest of lows. And they understand that, you know, eventually everyone we love will go, and we'll go ourselves, and that's okay, you know? And so I think that this person really lives life to the fullest. They really do. And I think you need a little bit of that, Group 3, as I think you've been sheltering yourself and sheltering your heart, and this person's going to open you up and show you that it's always worth it. The loving is always worth it. It's always worth the potential grief that you'll face in the future if it goes. You know, no matter what the ending is, the loving is always worth it. You know, if it's true love, it's worth it. And, you know, this person wants to offer that to you. And they're saying, I hope you take a chance on me. Because it's always a chance in love. There's no guarantee, right? Like, no guarantee. Ever. Because we don't know the outcome. We don't know when we're going to leave this world. We don't know how someone else is going to change over time or act in the future. Like, we don't know. We just trust and hope we can grow together, and that we have, you know, enough time that life blesses us with you know, a certain amount of time together. A long life together. We pray for good health, right? But we don't know, ultimately. And so, yeah, I think the guidance here is, if you don't want to be with this person, you don't want to be with this person, but who are you going to want to be with? Because this feels like the real thing. Okay, let's get some zodiac messages. So we're going to get 3 signs that could be significant in this person's birth chart. So think Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or Mars. Group 3. So we have Capricorn energy here. I kind of like this as well because Capricorn is represented by the goat or the sea goat. And so Capricorn is very much about status and, you know, like climbing the mountain. And so I definitely feel like that speaks to this person's pursuit of you. But also we were picking up on wealth earlier, right? So this person could be of a high status. They could be in a very like wealthy, privileged position. This person is also very hardworking, I will say that. Sagittarius, yeah, Sagittarius is definitely indicated with the King of Wands coming out in the beginning. You know, Sagittarius energy is mutable fire, sorry. I stumbled on my words there. So that's the heat that scatters from the fire. So this person has a very warm energy, very like infectious, you know. You can't help but smile and laugh around this person. They are good at getting people to open up, which is why they're probably able to eventually break through your shell. Yeah, they're very fun-loving, life of the party. They are very honest. That's the thing with Sagittarius people is that, you know, they're very truthful, you know, and they are very much like authentically themselves. And, you know, if you don't like it, you can leave it. You know, that's just how they are. You know, you know, Leo energy kind of likes to be liked, you know, but with Sagittarius energy, it's like, nah, you know, you can like me or leave me, love me or leave me, whatever. You know, I am who I am, and I make no apologies for it. This person could definitely like to travel as well. We've got Taurus. So definitely like wealth is indicated here. This person likes luxury. They do. They really do. They are very hardworking though as well. And you know, also with Taurus energy here too, like we're talking about this person appreciates like all the pleasures that life has to offer, right? Like that's Taurus energy all day long. Like it's fixed earth, so it's very much about the earthly pleasures. And so this person tries to live life to the fullest. They try to get everything that they can, you know, like good people, good food, laughter, you know, like have adventures, you know, like they really want to just, oh my gosh, like squeeze every, sounds so awkward, but like the squeeze, like squeeze life to the fullest. What's the expression where they like seize the day? Like they just want to, oh gosh, they're just trying to grab everything that they can. Like, you know, like this person just wants to have like a full life. Like they want to live a long life that is like enriching. Like they want to leave this world and feel like, yeah, I took advantage of every opportunity that was given to me, you know, like they want to feel like they seized every moment and regret nothing, you know. Am I gonna edit that out or am I gonna leave it? all right, I'll stop being silly. How are you gonna meet this person? So we know it's out of the blue, maybe a little serendipitous, right? A little unexpected when you're least expecting it. Fourth house. You know, this is coming out a little bit differently than it did in the other group. It's making me think it's going to happen at a time when your heart's distracted by something else. Yeah, like you're focused on something else. You know, like your mind's not really on love. First house, yeah, you're focused on something about yourself. What is it? Third house. Maybe a friendship issue is distracting you. Something in your home life even. But more so like third house and fourth house. Friendship or family, something is distracting you. But it's a very personal issue. 11th house. Maybe more so friends then. I feel like Spirit's being cagey. Second house. Okay. So, you're not looking for love, right? It comes out of the blue, it's unexpected. Doesn't mean you're not wanting love, but you're not looking for it, okay? Your mind's distracted. probably by an issue with friends or family, although friends is more strongly indicated for most of you. It's a personal issue, something close to your heart, so it's kind of a big thing then, right? Doesn't mean necessarily you're fighting with a friend. It could just be you're supporting them through a difficult time, or, you know, something like that. Maybe you're missing a friend, or missing your friends if you just move somewhere else. And with the second house here, I feel like this is hinting that there's a difference in financial status between you and this person, because this person seems very, very wealthy. Also with the second house, this could also indicate that you have indicate that you have changed something in your life when you, because they're giving me more clues about timing than where, which means, let me go back before I get off track. You could have changed something, like your location, like where you live, and that has affected your finances. So maybe change your physical location or gotten a new car, something in relation to like your personal belongings has changed. Something in your day-to-day has changed around this time. But they will not give me a place. So I'm not going to push it. Yeah, they're not really, I don't know, there's a mystery to this. I feel like that's intentional. Because I feel like it's fate, I feel like it's serendipitous, I feel like it's an odd meeting. And you're not expecting it. It's very much out of the blue. Neither one of you is expecting this. So it's not like, oh, I met this person online and we set up a date. It's not like that. The fates are like bringing you together. They're aligning this for you. So that means you don't have to worry about, you know, like what you're doing. Like, you just keep living your life, group 3. And this person's going to come in when they're meant to come in and not a moment sooner. You know, so there's nothing you need to do. And honestly, even when they do come in, you're still going to need a minute anyway because of your headspace. Okay, we're just going to get some more information about this person. Group 3, who are they? Who is Group 3's next relationship? Who is this person? Group 3. I don't get a certain number here. I just get as many as feels right to me. Okay, yeah, different culture, different country. So we were picking up on that, right? This person is very different than you, and when I say culture, they could be from another country, you know, they could be from someplace far away from you. This can also indicate, though, like a difference in socioeconomic status or a difference in religious beliefs or, you know, a difference in ethnicity. You know, like it doesn't necessarily just have to mean that they're from a different country. Okay, they want marriage. I feel like you misunderstand that about them, you know? Like, I really feel like you think this person just wants you for a fling, but they do want marriage. Okay, they're tall. Okay, they could have an unusual hair color. So this could mean that they have dyed their hair. Or maybe they have highlights, or maybe there's just something different about the way that they style their hair as well, I'm hearing. Not your usual type. Yeah, they're very different from you. And honestly, like, this person doesn't really fit a stereotype. Like, when you meet them, like, I feel like you may initially, again, make those assumptions about them and try to put them in a certain box, but this person is just a force of life, you know? They are an interesting character, you know, and they have, like, main character energy. Like, they are, like, you know, that's just how they are. Yeah, I think this person will continue to surprise you as you get to know them. They're very hardworking. And by the way, not your usual type doesn't mean that you're not going to be attracted to them. They're just not like the people that you have typically dated in the past. You know, There's something different about them, and that's because they're so unique, you know, they're so different. I don't think they're like most people, you know. Oh my gosh, this, stop it. Okay. Okay, and their love language is words of affirmation. I feel like that's why you don't trust them in the beginning. I'm sorry, I'm laughing too much. I'm moving all the cards, or pieces of paper, whatever. That's it. You really, like, you're like, they're too charming, you know, like, they're too good with their words. They're just a smooth talker. Like, you don't trust it, you know, like, it's, yeah, they're too much of a smooth talker for your taste. You know, you're like, that all sounds good and well, but I'll believe it when I see it, you know. And it's funny because, like, you're such a spiritual person, and yet with them you're like, I'll believe it when I see it. Like, I have faith in me and God above, but I don't know about what you're trying to sell me here, because that's what it feels like to you, like they're trying to sell you this idea of themselves, and you're not buying into it. And again, that's because of your past, not because of them. But they can't, yeah, I mean, they can't help it. They're good with their words, yeah. Like, they are charming and charismatic and funny and clever and all that good stuff. They're a smooth talker, you know, they just are. But it doesn't mean that what they're saying isn't truthful, you know. It's just gonna take time, you know, like, you just need time, you know, and thankfully they're willing to give you that, and they're willing to prove themselves to you, so that's good. I was gonna say something else with this. What was I gonna say? I think they're willing to adjust things too. Like, maybe you're the type of person that's a little bit uncomfortable with people giving you a lot of compliments or something. Yeah, I think whatever you express to them, they will be respectful. You know, so like if you say like, hey, like, kind of makes me uncomfortable to, you know, for you to compliment my body so much or something like that, you know, they would be respectful of that. So I feel like they would be willing to adjust their love language in a way that you'll understand it. So maybe you prefer, I don't know, like acts of service or something like that. I feel like they would be willing to adjust. I think that's all I'm getting for you guys. So group 3, this was your reading. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in my next one.